Yeah, just remember, none of this was easy. None of it. None of it.
Bro, you can't hit the ball, bro, you don't have no racket in the game for so long. I think it's time to track it in the game for no wrong. I think I'm in for it all. KNAV, PMR, I got my ass I'm back and now. Waqt na kar barbaad, 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 bro. Hi, my name is KNAV and I'm an independent artist with over 20 songs distributed globally on various music platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, etc. I am a multi-genre songwriter and a performer, and I like to tell stories with rhymes and rhythms. The concept of independent music dates back to 1920s and was derived from independent film production. It was later used in describing an independent individual music maker or band. Independent music is any music that is independently produced in the absence of a commercial record label. And the responsibility of recording and publishing lies in the hands of the artist. The power is here.
Some of the challenges that I face as an independent artist are that, we don't have a lot of financial backing. Usually we're using money out of our own pockets or money we make at shows or from selling merchandise. So it's a lot of money going in and more money going out. But I absolutely love being an independent artist. I wouldn't have it any other way because I have all control over my music and my path.
In today's world, it is popularly called indie music or indie for short. So on an average, indie artists make around $5,750 per year, which is usually 100% of their publishing royalties from the tracks they produce. Becoming a successful independent artist is rare, trust me, as it entails a lot of hard work, discipline, and consistency. Indie artists are usually responsible for writing their songs, performing them at the events, socializing at gigs, managing their brands, social media marketing, and the financial independence.
So my roots are from Sri Lanka. So in Sri Lanka, it's like unheard of to do English music ever. So when I picked up a microphone and started recording into it, it was a really big deal for my family because they didn't understand that at the time. A lot of the topics that I talk about in my music is so unheard of. So even not even just mental health, just love stuff. I was 16 and singing about heartbreak, and my parents were like, what heartbreak are you going through? My grandma heard a song of mine and was like, what are you doing? Hello, what is this? That got me in a lot of trouble. People are like, you need to stop doing this, you need to focus on school, you're a bio major, what are you doing? And as I kept going, as I kept not listening to that, they've come around a little bit more, but it still gets me in trouble to this day. My mom's trying to make me go right now so I can study for my midterm tomorrow.
Let me take you on a journey through the roots of independent music in Canada. Canadian indie music has been a melting pot of artists. We have brought together 3 stories of independent artists with different backgrounds, struggles, and experiences. The first story is of an industry legend. She has been a part of the Canadian independent music scene for over 45 years.
Cheryl, Lescom. 1975 is when I started in this business full-time. The challenges for a woman were a lot different than the challenges for a man. and especially in the 70s when I first started out. There was a lot of sexism and there was a lot of bullying. It was more of a cutthroat business. I don't know how different it is now, but it was definitely different back then. Mainstream music and being a star was not what I ever set out to be. I wanted to be a musician that was taken seriously for the love of her art and for the respect of herself.
Turned and gave me the secrets of my...
I wasn't about to do anything that I wasn't going to feel good about the next day, and that included singing the songs that I wanted to sing. I was 16 years old in 1969, and when I saw Janis Joplin, that was it for me. I mean, because I have a very deep voice, I couldn't sing pretty. When the 60s came, you didn't have to sing pretty anymore. You could sing with soul. They opened the door, and I kind of got to step through because of them. It was something that it was so deeply ingrained in you, that style of music for myself, that I wasn't about to sing anything that I didn't feel. And I feel the roots. That's the type of music I feel the most. Music picked me, and it gives me joy, it gives me life, it gives me a reason to get out of bed in the morning. It keeps me young, it keeps me vital. And I think that music is a soul saver. It saved my life, that's for sure. I don't know where I would have been as a young person without music, and as an old person without music. I don't know where I'd be. I'm really happy to still be here doing what I'm doing.
Meet Mrii, a burgeoning independent artist, songwriter, and a DJ.
My family, when they were in India, they had an Indian classical music school. It's like 3 generations deep, you know? So when my dad came to Canada, he called my grandfather as well. He's like, we need to teach the kids, like me and my brother. So growing up, I was forced to practice and learn Indian classical music performance. Indian family has this thing, like their parents force them to do something. For me, it was music. And I hated music growing up until I found my voice. Once I did find my own passion and my own voice in music, it was like clashing with the Indian classical. So like my family was like, okay, you're disrespecting your roots because you're stepping away from them. But now they're seeing that like I'm embracing both sides of it, embracing what they instilled in me, the foundation of the music that's been like in my blood and like that I can like intuitively do. One of the things I'm trying to do this year is not only host more events for the Mixdown in Toronto, but I'm bringing it back to my roots in Brampton. There's a lot of Indian artists, and there's just a lot of artists in general in Brampton, and it's not always accessible for them to come to Toronto. As for like me as an artist, I am looking to drop my first debut EP, so I can finally start to like push a little bit more and like get my music heard to more people.
Calling, I'm on the way. I know it all sound the same.
I feel like mainstream, in a way, is sort of a sellout. Like you give in to what the people want, what the mainstream audience is looking for, and what's digestible, I say. Whereas underground, it's authentically you, with no expectations of what people think, what people want to hear. It's just straight you, and I don't see myself changing to like fit in a box for anybody. Like personally, I consider my creativity to be limitless, so I want to keep it that way. The only way I would go to mainstream is by maintaining the authenticity that I have. The same stuff that I'm doing that I want to do, but like appreciated by the mainstream audience. That's the only way I would justify that.
Adil is an international music producer who also goes by the name of NoWherebutHere. With roots from India, he is trying to make a big mark in the Canadian independent music scene. Let's hear it from him.
Hi, my name is NoWherebutHere. I'm a producer, singer, songwriter. I'm from India, Mumbai, and I'm here in Canada since 2 years. It was just since childhood, I always listened to Western music, and I feel my ideas spike when I listen to that. Like, it's always towards that direction. So I felt that my place was here, and Toronto as a vibe, I feel like I can define that as my emotion, you know, like Mumbai and Toronto resonate, but they are like, I feel like a yin and yang for me in life, you know, like it's like that. So in that way, I feel like my music also reflects the city life and all that stuff. So I always used to listen to music, but initially I kind of wanted to sing, and I was like, what if, like, you know, like I sing on a track, but I didn't even know how to make a track that time. So I got into production, and then I found this new world of production, and I really loved it. From there, I got into music. I started making my own tracks, and then from there I started writing on my own tracks. Yeah, that's how I got into music. I normally start with a melody sometimes, start with a vocal, just lyrical idea. Or sometimes I just sit down and I make a beat, and then I end up making a song. So there's not one process. It's much more easy to monetize your own art through internet, I feel, because you don't need any third person. You can learn, and you can actually, you know, experiment and actually use your techniques and strategize your way to actually make a business out of your art. That's how I feel internet has improved business. You know, there are so many talented people who can actually come to the light, and if people will just listen, you know, rather than just being a bit hip or having a lot of tattoos and all that stuff, you know. Talent is everything, but it's nothing without the hard work that supports it, and you gotta use your brain. So keep working hard and keep believing in yourself. That's how your dreams gonna become into a reality.
The independent music industry is full of struggles and uncertainties. Due to its uncertainties, most artists quit to pick up jobs in the corporate world.
Why go down? They don't give a hoot about you.
While some artists end up on the streets as roadside performers. On the other hand, many determined independent musicians in Canada are usually unable to support themselves in making and performing music. Hence, discouraging future young artists from following their path. Music is expression. It's a spiritual process of conveying without words. According to Greek philosopher Plato, music is moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to imagination, and life to everything.